Welcome to J-RodTV, the home of the poor man's hot rod. I'm Jared. I'm glad you're watching. Today, we're cutting and buffing. I've never done this before. It scared me to death. We just sprayed this clear coat, the Vice Grip Garage 1776 gloss clear, and had all sorts of little dry spots and runs and stuff, and I had to learn how to do this along the way. So if you stick around, you'll see all the things I did, the things I learned, and maybe you could learn some stuff too. If I can, you can. Check it out. I've never buffed anything before. I've got a couple of spots on the hood that need to be dealt with. And so I'm going to bring you along, and hopefully I don't really mess something up. So, that's the plan. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little nervous. I'm a lot nervous because I just hate to have to go back and spray this thing again. But either way, we're going to give it a try. We'll see how it turns out. While we were spraying, some water dropped and landed in this area. There's another spot right here. It's got like some fish eyes. So I looked at some YouTube videos, put tape around the razor blade, and I'm scraping this top off. I'm sure somebody does this all the time would not freak out about this. They'd be like, well, it's just part of it. But I'm freaking out. Just doesn't make sense to scratch up your paint or your clear coat after you had done all that spraying, All right, I guess I'm going to get you in here and let you see the damage done. All right. All right, you can see right there how I've scraped it down. You got these little bubble areas, and then there's another spot right here I scraped down. Now I got to go to sanding, so we'll see how that turns out, and then I'm going to try to just polish it just to see how it works. All right, so I got some 1000 grit, and I'm just going to sand it gently. I can still see just a touch here or there, but I'm going to have some of that in this particular paint job. I just feel like that's going to be the nature of painting outside, the amount of orange peel I have without having to water sand the whole truck. And I think that's way better than it was as far as the pits and that kind of stuff. I'm going to go back with the 2000, and then we'll see what we got. Let's get you in here where you can see it. You can still see a couple of little spots there, but I'm afraid to go too deep. It's just my inexperience in this. I just want it to be okay. Because, I've got like this, you can feel all of that because that's like paint missing. So, it's not like it's going to be glass. That's not what I'm trying for anyway. So, we'll see what happens. All right, I'm going to use the compound first. And I've sanded that to 2000. Got rid of the bubbles pretty good. And I'm using a Turtle Wax brand rubbing compound. It's for deep scratches and stuff. And we're gonna see what happens. I'm using medium to light pad from what I understand. And again, I'm no expert in any way, form, or fashion. I'm just trying this because it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out. So, got to do something different. You know, you just do what you got to do. And I'm kind of starting in a scary area because it's the hood. You know, it's right up front, right where you see it. But we're gonna give it a try and see if we can bring the gloss. All right, got the polishing pad on, using the McGuire's polish. So that's what we're using, and we're gonna run over it, and then we're gonna see what we got. All right, I went back and resanded that again in this area. You can still see just a touch of it if you can get the angle just right. But if you get the bulb right over it, you can see it. But I was scared to go any further. I just don't want to cut through. But me sanding that much made this pretty much mirror right here. You can see the light bulb. And then when you come over here, you know, you get back into a little bit of orange peel and whatnot. But I'm pleased with it. I think this will, you know, it gets rid of that ugly spot and those couple of bad spots, and it'll blend in with the hood really good. So I'm happy with it. All right, so you can see how dry this area is through here. When we were spraying, I don't know what happened. It was on that last coat, and I don't know if it just got a little dry on that part or not. So what I did is I've got several areas like this that I'm gonna have to work. So I bought a 1200 grit disc with a interface pad that's about a 1/2 inch thick. And then I've got some 2000. I'm going to be real easy. I've taped up my body line and this upper area to try to stay off of it. And we're going to see what happens. So I think the hood turned out pretty good, you know, overall. And so now on to the next thing. All right, well, it's many hours later, a couple of days later. I started, you know, sanding this. You remember how dry it was, and so I sanded and sanded and sanded and sanded it, and really was discouraged because it was taking forever, and then the buffer tore up, like the backing plate for the buffer. So it was an issue. It's got some shine. I can still see the sanding marks. I don't know if it's because the pad had built up too much and it wasn't cutting during the rubbing compound part. But I'm going to hit it again with 2000 grit on a DA one more time, and then I'm going to do the rest of the door too with just the DA, just kind of knock off any big stuff. And then I'll just buff the door. I think that's kind of where I'm at. I've got stuff to do on the rest of the truck, but I need to get through with this door. So and this was by far the worst area because it was just so dry, and like I said, I can still see a bunch of sanding marks. It's got gloss, but it's just not where it needs to be yet. So gonna try to stay off this edge and we'll get it done. All right, so just finished polishing that whole door, and of course this section too. So let's get in here so you can see. It's the upper section. Sometimes it's better if you're looking outward because of the sunlight. And then the lower section. Have not done anything to this fender yet, but just to give you contrast there. I think you can probably see it. It's not mirror, but it does produce some does produce some gloss, particularly from a few feet away, and I think it'll be all right. So I just have to keep working. Do the front fender, do the rear, do the bed. I've already done the hood, do the top, that kind of stuff. So just keep moving around the truck. That's all I can do. Wish me luck and pray for me. You know, as I'm shining this truck, it makes me think, you know, we polish things like this to make them shiny so people see and they appreciate the hard work and all of those types of things. But as a believer in Jesus Christ, we need to be reminded that we should let our light shine. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 14 through 16, it says this: "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on a stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." As believers, we need to shine so that others can see who Christ is, that they can understand the truth that He is the Savior that we all need. If you haven't trusted Him, I encourage you to trust in Him. At the moment, you would love to have smell-o-vision, not because of what I'm doing, but because of what my wife is doing. She's cooking Greek-style pork, and right now she's frying up or cooking up the pork, and it smells amazing. So I really look forward to the meal I'm going to have a little bit later. Tell me in the comments what I'm doing wrong, because I'm sure I'm doing something wrong. Some step I'm leaving out, but I'm kind of past the point of no return on some of this. Just time-wise, it's going to be what it's going to be at this point. And, ouch. Ooh, that little edge is sharp. Man, I told you a second ago, that Greek-style pork that my wife's fixing, it's about to get me, man. I'm telling you what, it smells so good. It smells so good. I finished doing the door and polishing all that stuff. Did the compound and the polish. You know, did all the water sanding. Talking about here up on the side of the cab there, you can see the light reflecting in it. There's some imperfections. It's not going to be perfect. It's got a lot of orange peel, and of course it is a Patina truck, so it's got different things, as you can see. But I will say I'm happy with the overall way it turned out. I still have to do the bed here in this scene, but got it all done. I did have to go back, just kind of let you know, get some heavier cut compound in a couple of spots and use that on the bed in a few places. But it turned out good when it was all said and done. I will tell you that this is not an easy job. It took a full week. I had all together about 30 man hours, you know, cutting and buffing, water sanding and buffing all this stuff. And so just let you know that it's hard work. It's worth it. You do get gloss. You could probably get even more, but being my first time, never doing this before, I learned a lot, and I encourage you to try it, man. Buffing and getting out those runs and those dry spots and all that kind of stuff makes a difference and makes the truck look a lot better. I'm going to show you a few other pictures here at the end. I encourage you to like and subscribe. Tell me what I did wrong. Tell me how you do it different. I'd love to know. Put it in the comments, and it doesn't cost you anything. So give me a like. Thanks.